So this is the second part of my Penang female solo backpacker video. In Malaysia and Singapore, salted yolk flavored things is very popular.
Salted egg fish skin chips are all the rage in Singapore and Malaysia. So I found them, amazingly. Didn't have to go to Singapore to get them.
There's pretty much anything you can get in salted yolk flavor, and it's super good. I also went to the Penang Brown food court, and it's basically a bunch of little shops lined up next to each other, and you can get curries, lemak. Malaysia is very famous for satay, so I actually got some satay. The satay served in Malaysia also comes with this compressed rice, so I think that is kind of the carb for it. It's very interesting tasting, not really for me, but it's a unique experience. I also met a friend who has a food run every single Sunday for the homeless. So it's him and a bunch of his friends. They gather together, they pay out of pocket, and so what they do is they buy bread and eggs and they make sandwiches, and then every Sunday around 2 a.m. at night in Georgetown, they give food to homeless people. So I actually made a separate video on that. So after the food run, the friends usually grab some food for themselves after. So here's some footage from that. There's a lot of interesting foods there. You'll get a lot of mee goreng with some really nice looking egg yolks, and we got a lot of drinks, and it's just kind of to regroup and think about what happened and just for them to be able to connect once a week. One thing I've noticed about Malaysia and Malaysians is that they tend to sleep very late, and for some reason they're never tired. So things in Malaysia open quite late and Malaysians stay up quite late. I also had some Western food at a little cafe near my hostel. I ended up getting a vegan breakfast wrap. And my friend got a tuna wrap. It was quite good, but I found the stuff in Malaysia is a little bit too sweet for my liking, including this vegan wrap. So I spent many afternoons just walking around Georgetown, looking at all the little shops, all the little stands, and all the little souvenir shops. Georgetown is a very charming place. I fell in love with Penang, and Georgetown is a large reason. On Chulia Street in Georgetown at night, a lot of food stalls open, and you'll get wonton mee, you can get burgers, you can get a lot of halal food as well. It's very bumpin' at night. You'll see a lot of locals and foreigners eating there, and I've tried the food there and I highly recommend it. It's very nice. The wonton mee I had there was the dry kind, which is quite popular. It's very nice. The sauce is a little bit sweet. It's like a sweet soy sauce, but I always prefer my wonton mee with soup. This is soy milk at a hawker stall. They didn't add sugar to it, did they?
A little bit.
A little bit? So they added a little bit of sugar, but not too much, and it's very warm and good. My favorite thing I ate in Georgetown, Penang is actually kway teow soup. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's like a really light noodle soup with some minced pork on it. Usually they have it with chicken, but the place I went to had pork, and it was super good. As much as I love chicken malani from Capitan, which I do, kway teow soup is something I could eat every single day. I also got to try CKT that was a little bit wet. So usually CKT is like dry, but this one place I went to, there's a little bit more sauce. And I actually prefer this kind because I prefer things with a bit more soup. So this one was very good. I'm still not really sure what nasi kandar is, but I know it's really famous. It's a Penang thing. And I went to the original nasi kandar to have some food there, and it was super good. So we have chicken. I'm eating with my hands. It tastes really good. It's like more expensive than normal, but still cheap. My friend told me that all the nasi kandars you see around Malaysia are actually inspired by the nasi kandar created in Penang. So I don't know if that's true, but yeah, the food in Penang is really good. I also went to visit a Protestant cemetery in Georgetown. So I don't know why, I'm very fascinated by the cemeteries in Penang. Like, they're old cemeteries, so a lot of the graves are above ground, and they just have a very unique old feel to them, and they're very nice. And some of the graves I went to, they had the reason the person died on it too, which is very interesting to me. Look over there, aged 3.5 months, who died at Penang. I also heard it's not uncommon for Malaysians to have photo shoots at cemeteries, which I find to be a little bit strange, but the cemeteries are very beautiful, so that could be a reason why they're having it. I came across this little Indian street stall and they had samosas, little Indian sweets. I also got to visit this harbor around Penang. It's very similar to the harbor in Vancouver, so you see a lot of yachts there. It's just get the view of the ocean. I feel like there are a lot of similarities between Penang and Vancouver because they're both kind of port cities. Penang itself is an island, so you get the freshness of like the salted air and the vibe of people who live near water. It's just different from people who live like inland, and that's part of the reason why I like Penang so much. I also visited this place near a temple and the beach at night. So every night they have all these like string lights that hang out, so you can't really see anything, but you'll see these like lights that kind of change color, and it's very nice. I also saw a 5-headed snake statue thing, which is very interesting. I also got to try some seafood. So I had some grilled fish and some calamari. In Vancouver, calamari has its own special batter, and then when you eat it, you just know it's like calamari batter. But in Penang, or in Malaysia in general, the batter that they use for calamari is actually fried chicken batter, which I thought was a little bit strange, but when I ate it, I was like, this totally works. It's super good, and this should be a thing in Vancouver. Shisha is one of my favorite hobbies. I love shisha so much. So the shisha game in Penang is super strong. People just really enjoy shisha, and I even saw a table of just 2 girls, and they each had their own shisha. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm currently at this Indonesian lunch spot that's really popular in Penang, in Georgetown. And it opens at 11 and there's a long line. People come here like 30 minutes before they open and they just sit, they grab a drink, and then 11 o'clock is when the rice comes out. So most of the food is already laid out and then they just leave it there to tempt you. This is my second time being here, so yeah, I really like it. So I am at a supermarket in Penang somewhere, I don't know which one, but everyone talks about Japan for Kit Kats, but Malaysia is so underrated. They have here cookies and cream chunky. They have hazelnut. They have more creamy, more chocolatey, which I guess is just more intense chocolate Kit Kat. They also have this rose flavored Kit Kat, and the chocolate is pink. I mean, no one talks about Malaysia for sweets, like hazelnut and cookie. Come on, come on. The reason I looked for Kit Kats here is because my friend sent me a picture of this milk tea Kit Kats. And she's like, you have to find this for me and you have to try it. And I tried it and it's amazing, so I came back just to get another one. And then I was like looking at all the other flavors and I was like, they have so many. Peanut butter. Like, what? I'm just gonna get the milk tea and the rose one. But yeah, Malaysia Kit Kat game, very strong. And this concludes my Penang female solo backpacker part 2. I hope you liked my video and thank you for watching.